Hi, this is Mary from VIPS TV. Today we will study the last part of to be in the simple past tense and how to make the question with was or were. Now remember that I, he, she, it, or a singular noun we use with was, you, we, they, or a plural noun we use with were. So to make the question, we just need to put was or were first, and then a subject, and then an adjective, a noun, or a preposition. And remember that today the subject will be you, we, and they, or a plural noun. Number 7 and number 8, the subject is you. Remember that you can be a singular noun, one person, or you can be a plural noun, one or more people. For number 7, a singular noun, you were in hospital last month. Last month. Now, last month, a month ago, you were in hospital last month. Maybe a month ago you were sick and then you had to be in the hospital. So you were in hospital last month. To make the question, you put were before you. So we have were you? Were you in hospital last month? Were you in hospital last month? Remember to raise your voice at the end of the question with yes/no question. Yes, I was. No, I wasn't. We cannot say yes, I were. No, I were. No, I weren't. I was. So yes, I was. No, I wasn't. For a singular noun, the question and the answer, we have to change you and I. Ask you, we answer I, and ask I, we answer you. For number 8, you hear a plural noun. You were late last night. Late, for example, maybe you were late for work and I just remind you that you were late last night. Oh, sorry, last night cannot be work. For example, for the party or for a meeting or something, huh? You were late last night. Maybe you were late for our appointment or dinner or something. So to make the question, now were before you. So we have, were you late last night? You hear maybe 2 or more people. So the answer, now remember that for a plural noun, you, we have to use you for the question, and answer we use we, or vice versa. Ask we answer you. Remember for a plural noun. Yes, we were. No, we weren't. Number 9, we were funny. We were funny. For example, some days ago at a party or something, we were funny. But here, I mean without the listener. We were funny. And to make the question, with us, were we funny? As I mentioned before, for a plural noun, we ask you, the answer we use with we, and ask we answer with you. Yes, you were. No, you weren't. For number 10, we were neighbors 5 years ago. 5 years ago. We were neighbors 5 years ago. I and maybe that man, we were neighbors, but not now anymore. Now, to make the question, were we? Were we neighbors 5 years ago? Maybe, I meet a man and I think he's familiar. And after that, I remember that 5 years ago we were neighbors. So I asked him if he agreed with me. So were we neighbors 5 years ago? We here with the listener. So the answer the same, okay? We and we. Yes, we were. No, we weren't. Number 11, they were his co-workers. They were his co-workers. Co-workers, that means, those people who used to work with you, huh? They were his co-workers. But here I mean, in this situation, they used to be workers, but co-workers mean the person, co-worker, okay? The person who worked with you in the same company or an organization. They were his co-workers. To make the question, were they? Were they his co-workers? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. We don't have to change anything. They and the answer with they. Now for 12. Her kids were cheeky yesterday. Cheeky, the same meaning with rude, in a way that is amusing or annoying, okay? Her kids were cheeky yesterday. Her kids, okay, here with S. So plural now, we have to use with were. Her kids were cheeky yesterday, just like rude, okay? So to make the question, were her kids cheeky yesterday? Yes, they were. Now, okay, her kids plural now, we have to use they. Yes, they were. No, they weren't. Okay, that's all. Goodbye. See ya.